Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Thursday morning Pilates class. I hope you're all having a lovely week and are ready for some really lovely Pilates this morning. Today, we're going to revisit some of the building blocks of Pilates. So these are the basic exercises that we can use to build up some more complicated exercises. And it's always really good to revisit them because by learning how to do them with precision and control, it means that we'll be able to advance to the more challenging exercises in a much more effective way. So today you don't really need any equipment other than your mat, a little pair of hand weights or your water bottle if you have them, and a little cushion to support your head when we're on the floor. And we are going to start standing up. Okay, so as ever, please do listen to your body. If we do something that doesn't feel right for you, please stop the exercise. Don't push through any pain. And if you know that you're not quite there with your core strength yet, please take it a little bit more slowly and just do what you can. There's never any pressure, and you can stop to have a rest at any time you want. Okay, so starting in our standing correctly position, we've got our feet hip distance apart on the floor. So we're just trying to make sure that the weight is going down evenly through our left foot and our right foot. So take a couple of breaths here, just feeling how your weight is transferring down through your body, down through your feet, and you should feel the weight go down through the back of your heel, the base of your big toe, and the base of your little toe. Okay, good. So you can just move yourself around so you feel nice and balanced. You should be able to lift your toes up without affecting the rest of your body, and that will show that you're nicely balanced. You haven't got your weight too far forward. Okay, so bring your awareness up to our knees now. Just give them a little bend and check that they're tracking directly over your second toe. So that's the toe next to your big toe. And some of you might need just a little bit of extra support. So you can place a cushion here just to give you that feedback about where you are in space. Excellent. Okay, awareness coming up to your hips now. You place your hands on your hips and ask yourself whether you are pushing your right hip forward or your left hip, or whether you're nicely balanced. Good. So, okay, awareness coming now to our rib cage. Again, where is this balanced? It should feel like it's just nicely balanced on top of your hip bones. You're not slumping forward and you're not leaning back. Okay. Start drawing your core muscles in and your pelvic floor up. So you've got that core connection going on already. Just a little bit at the moment because we use our core responsively. And then let your arms hang down by your sides. Super. Okay, imagine a piece of thread pulling you up through the crown of your head. So you're always lifting up towards the ceiling. So you've got lots of length through your spine, standing nice and tall with really lovely posture, a little bit of core connection going on here. Okay, so moving on to some shoulder rolls. This is going to be really nice to get some movement through your shoulders. Really lovely if you've been working or gardening, or sewing or reading, or whatever you like to do in your spare time, doing jigsaws. And we're just going to start by rolling our shoulders back. Okay, so we're just going to breathe normally for this exercise. Just bring your shoulders forward, all the way up to our ears, back behind us and down. And you might feel a little crickle crack going on through there. That's completely normal. Sometimes it's air escaping, sometimes it's tendons just moving over your bones. There's a lot going on in my shoulders today. Good. Try to remember to keep your chin up rather than down. And we'll go the other way. So shoulders going back, all the way up, forward and down. Super. Keeping your jaw relaxed, remembering that length through your spine. So lifting up towards the ceiling. Lovely. And we'll do one final one like this. Bring your hands down. Good. Okay, so now imagining that you've got a pencil on the end of your nose. We're going to draw a line, a circle around us from right to left, so a semicircle. So keeping your body completely still, remember that core connection. We're just going to breathe normally as we turn our head to the right. Come back through to center, really controlling this movement, looking to the left. Good. And it might feel that your tendons and muscles in your neck are quite tight. So start slowly. And as they warm up, you might find that you can go a little bit further. Good. Last one. And looking back through to center. Okay, so now we're going to go into some kind of chin tucks, but I'd like you to imagine that you've got a cushion behind your head and you're trying to press your head back into that cushion. So we're going to make a double chin. So this is like if you're sitting back in the car and you're pressing your head back into the headrest. Okay, so we're going to keep everything else completely still. In this exercise, it's really easy to let your shoulders come up, but we're going to keep our arms down and then just press our head back. It's a really attractive look where you're making a little double chin here. And release. Good. Going again, pressing back and release. And if you're doing this right, you should find that when you talk, your voice goes a bit funny, like mine. Good. And a few more. It's really nice to lengthen out the back of your neck. Good. And one more. Lovely. Okay, so moving into some neck rolls now. We're just going to drop our chin down onto our chest and still imagine that pencil on the end of your nose. Start drawing an arc around you. So you're looking at the right, looking down and back up to the left. So you're getting a bit of neck flexion here, but be careful. You're not trying to jam your chin down to your chest. You're just getting a bit of movement through there. And looking back through to center. Excellent. Okay, getting our shoulders moving again with some really easy floating arms. Now, we've done this quite a lot before, so if you want to make it more challenging, just grab your hand weights. Find your neutral standing position once again and draw your core muscles in. So hold your hand weights, breathing in here. As we breathe out, we're just going to start raising our arms up, palms facing forward, all the way up to the ceiling. And inhale. And bring them down really smoothly. Now you'll find that the hand weights want to make your hands go down really quickly. But we're going to try and resist that gravity force and control. So you should feel already that your biceps, your triceps and your shoulders, as well as your pectoral muscles, are switching on here. Keep your body completely still. Remember, your hips remain balanced over your heels. Good. I'm going to see if we can do 4 more here. So we're going to do 8 in total today. Breathing out. I can already feel this. And in. Now, as you bring your arms up, you're going to need to use your core muscles a little bit more. So as you breathe out, imagine your tummy button coming in towards your spine. And come back down. Great. Super. And we're going to go one more time like this. Breathing out. And inhale to come all the way back down. Awesome. So moving into something called chest expansion now. Now this is really lovely to get this backwards movement of our shoulders. It's going to open out the front of your chest and really help with your posture as well, because we're turning on these muscles at the back of our spine, so our shoulder muscles, which help keep our shoulders back in a really lovely place. Going to add in the hand weights again. If you don't have these, don't worry, but we'll build it up little bit by bit. So we have our weights in our hands, palms facing backwards, and all we're going to do is press our hands backwards and inhale to come forwards, okay? So we're going to breathe out, take our arms back, show you from the side, and inhale to come forwards. So try and keep your body as still as you possibly can. So you find that when you take your arms back, your core muscles tighten up. Breathing out, lovely. Okay, so now we're going to add in a neck exercise. So as we breathe out, we turn our head to the right. Still breathing out, turn to the left. Inhale to return. Good. So if you're struggling with the breathing, don't worry, just keep breathing. If you can time the movement with your breath, then that's great. Okay. So once we've got this basic movement in our body, we're just going to add on a balance. Okay. So as you take your hands back, you're raising up onto your tiptoes. Okay. And coming back down. So we'll do those a couple of times so you can get the feeling in your body. So breathing in to prepare and breathing out to raise all the way up. Arms going back as you come onto your tiptoes. Keep your knees and your ankles super strong. Lower down. And inhale to come down. Lovely. So great for the strength of your ankles. That's it. Good. Really nice to open out the front of your legs as well. Don't often go up onto our tiptoes, especially at the moment. So this should really help to open out the ankle as well as work your calves and strengthen your ankles as well. Good. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can add in that head movement as well. So we're going to breathe out, turn our head to the right, keeping up on our tiptoes, still breathing out, return our head to the left. Inhale to come down. Excellent. Let's see if we can go again. Breathing out, press your hands back. Imagine that piece of thread still coming through the crown of your head, lifting you up towards the ceiling, really long spine. And coming down. So we're working now on our balance, coordination, alignment, core strength, leg strength, and the strength of your shoulders as well. I nearly fell over then. Let's go again. Good. And we've got two more like this. Breathing out, lifting all the way up. Keep your hands back as you turn your head. Remember to keep your balance. So you're using your core, using your legs. It's really great for your deep core strength. Last one here. And come back to center without falling over. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to place those weights down. Back through to your standing correctly position, feet hip distance apart, arms along down by your sides. Going to go into some lovely arm circles. So check that you're staying nice and tall. Breathing in. As we breathe out, we're going to float our hands up, palms facing, in line with our shoulders, all the way up to the top. And then as you inhale, reach out to the sides and down. Okay, so if you suffer from shoulder issues, just do whatever movement you can here. You don't need to go all the way up. And try not to work through pain. Just listen to your body and do what's right for you. Reaching out to the side and down. Excellent. Breathing out. Okay, I'm going to show you from the side so you can see that my body is completely still. It's easy to start pushing your hips forward here. We're going to keep our hips completely still over our heels. We're going to go 3 more times in this direction. For more of a challenge, add in your hand weights again, and you should really feel that through your arms. So great for our shoulder mobility, fantastic for our posture here as well. Really nice for opening out the front of your chest. Excellent. Okay, and we're going to go the other way now. So breathing in and breathing out, arms coming all the way up, reaching forward and down. Inhale, reach out to the sides and up, reaching forward and down. Good. And we'll do one more like this. Remember, keep your chin in the air, keeping those core muscles coming in, especially as you raise your arms all the way up. Bring your arms down and give them a little bit of a wiggle. And we're going to move into an exercise that we haven't done very much recently, but it's chicken wings. And this one is really gorgeous for working through your shoulders again. So if you have shoulder issues, please, again, just listen to your body. Okay, so we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Float your arms up to shoulder height. Still breathing out, draw your elbows back. So your elbows are in line with your shoulders. Then as we inhale, we're going to rotate our arms. So we're making a cactus shape. Still inhaling, press our arms up in the air and breathe out to float your arms down by your sides. Okay, let's go again. Breathing in to prepare, toe muscles coming in, piece of thread coming through the crown of your head. Breathing out, raise your arms up to shoulder height and draw your elbows back. Really strong here. And we're going to keep our elbows still as you rotate here on the inhale to make that cactus shape. Still inhaling, reach it to the top. Breathe out to come down. So as well as getting this lovely flexion and extension through our shoulders, we're getting rotation as well. Okay, and you should feel these muscles between your shoulder blades on the back of your spine working. Let's go again. Breathing in and breathing out. Float your arms up and bring your elbows back. Inhale. Still inhaling and exhale to push the air down and back. Lovely. Breathing in and out. Rotating through your arms, pressing all the way up on the inhale and down. Good, we've got 2 more to go. Bringing those elbows back. Inhale to rotate and press through. Exhale to press down. Good, 1 more like this. I can already feel my arms. Elbows coming back in line with your shoulders. Rotating up on the inhale, pressing all the way through and reaching forward and down. Excellent, good. Okay, going into some dumb waiters. So hopefully by the end of this class, you should feel really strong through your shoulders and really opened out through your chest. Still the same standing position. You can bring your hands up. Now, if you do need to, you can sit down on a chair for any of these arm exercises, just as long as you're sitting nice and tall with your feet flat on the floor. So bring your arms up now so that our forearms are parallel with the floor. And as we exhale, we're just going to rotate out and inhale to come through to center. So imagine that your shoulder blades are really strong, keeping your elbows completely still. So this time we're getting more rotation through our shoulders. Going to help open out our pectoral muscles as well. Good. And 2 more like this. And our final one. Breathing out. Inhale to bring our arms down. Awesome. Okay, so now after all that, we've got a challenge exercise. We're going to come into a little bit of coordination work with our windmill arms. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through it. Then I'm going to leave you to try and do it by yourself without my guidance. So our arms are down by our sides. We're still in that lovely neutral standing position, breathing in here. We're going to just breathe out to raise our arms up. So this is our starting position, okay? So your arms are level with your shoulders, palms facing down. Breathing in here. Breathing out, you're going to split your arms. One arm goes up, one arm goes down. Inhale to circle your arms around. And exhale to take them back through center. And one arm goes up, one arm goes down again. Inhale, circle around, keep your body completely still. Exhale, swap your hands over again, making this movement super smooth. Again, doing what you can through your shoulders. Exhale, pass your hands through. One arm goes up, one arm goes down. Inhale to circle around. Exhale. And inhale again. Okay, so working on our coordination here, getting that gorgeous movement through our shoulders. Work on your core strength as well, because your core muscles are working really hard to make sure that your body isn't boomeranging from side to side. Good. Okay, and I'm going to leave you to do it by yourself now. So just take a couple of seconds to try and do a few more by yourself without my guidance. Awesome. Okay, make this next one your last one. And float your arms down. Good. Okay, so now we're going to move into working through our hips, our knees and our ankles with some Pilates squats. Now, you can either do Pilates squats in parallel, which we normally do. So we bring our feet slightly closer together than hip distance. And then as you inhale, you fold through your hips, your knees and your ankles. So your toe muscles come in, you keep your spine and pelvis in neutral. Bottom goes back, knee goes forward. It's like you're squatting on a public toilet, arms hanging heavy, back of neck long. Exhale, press through to come all the way up. Okay, I'll show you again. We inhale, bottom goes back, keeping your arms long. Toe muscles come in here to support your spine. Exhale to come up. Okay, or you can try a slightly more challenging version, which is where we're going to do our Pilates squat in something called Pilates stance. So this time, feet are going hip distance apart, but then we're going to bring our heels together. It's like you're in first position if you ever did ballet as a child, okay? So your toes are pointing out at about 45 degrees, maybe less. And you can really feel your inner thighs connecting and your muscles wrapping, okay? So rather than just letting your bottom hang loose, you're bringing your glute muscles in. You should find that automatically you stand a little bit taller, okay? So you can imagine that piece of thread coming through the crown of your head, you're lengthening it. Awesome. And then we can do Pilates squat like this, okay? So as you breathe out, your bottom goes back. Your knees are going forward over your second toe and your hands are hanging heavy, okay? And pressing through to come up. It's a lot more work for your core. So I'll show you from the side with our Pilates stance. Okay, so standing nice and tall to start with. Remember that core connection, wrapping those muscles from your inner thighs all the way around to the back of your glutes. Arms hanging heavy. And as we breathe in, our knees go forward over our second toe. We're sending our bottom backwards, arms hanging heavy. You might even feel a stretch of your calf, pressing through your heels to come all the way up. Let's go again. Coming down. Inhale to come up, really using your glute muscles here. Okay, let's go again. Coming down. And coming up. Breathing in, toe muscles coming in to keep your pelvis and spine in neutral. Remember that long back of neck. You're not pressing your head up. You're not dropping your head down. And two more. Nice and slow and controlled again. Inhale to come down. Exhale to come up. Okay, so let's work some balance into this now. So you're going to come down just like before on our inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to raise all the way up. And raise up onto your tiptoes. Inhale, lower down with control and go back into that Pilates squat. Exhale, press through, still pressing through, come up onto your tiptoes. Inhale, lower down and fold. That was my ankle clicking. Let's go again. We've got one more after this one. So really control through your legs. This is great for strengthening your legs, getting that movement through your hips, strengthening your pelvic floor as well. And coming up. Okay, so now we're going to just turn it into a little Pilates flow. So we're going to take our feet back into parallel, so they're hip distance apart. This time, as you inhale and sink down in that squat, you're going to float your arms up as far as you can. If you can, bring them up so that they're level with your ears. Keep your toes released, your jaw relaxed. Exhale, press through your heels. Coming up into that balance, and this time we're going to take our arms backwards, just as far as you can. And as we inhale, we're going to lower down with control, really controlling this through your leg muscles. Arms going forward, squatting down. Now check what's going on with your knees and ask yourself if they're coming together or if they're wavering out to the side. Keep your gaze going up. Don't drop your chin down. Sinking down. So you're really controlling. This is excellent as well for the muscles in your feet because you're practicing control and balance here. Tummy muscles coming in as you take your arms back. You're going to need to use those muscles to keep you in that lovely neutral spine and pelvis. Sinking down, bottom going back, arms going forward. We've got two more. Ask yourself again what's going on through your toes. They should be relaxed on the floor. And one more time. Whoa, it's always the last one. And sinking down, bottom going back, arms going forward. And come up to standing. Excellent. Walk through your feet, getting rid of any tension you're holding in your ankles. And we're going to come into a lovely side reach standing. Again, a building block exercise, but one that's great for getting something called lateral flexion through our spines. That's that side to side movement, which is really important for keeping your spine healthy. So back into our standing correctly position. We're going to take our arms down by our sides, and then you're going to keep your body completely still until your arm is raised in the air. So we'll breathe in here. As we breathe out, start floating one arm all the way up. Keep your body still. And then reach up and over, lifting out of your hip bones as you lift over to the side into that side reach. Inhale to come all the way back up and float that arm down. I'd like you to imagine that your legs and your hips are in concrete. So there's no moving from side to side, they're completely still. Let's go again, breathing in and breathing out. Float that arm all the way up. Lift up and over, out of your hips. Inhale to come all the way back up and float that arm down. Now you can see that I'm not moving my body at all until my arm starts to reach over, and also my hips are remaining balanced over my toes. It's like you've got a piece of glass in front of you and one behind. It means that you can't lean forward or back or rotate from side to side either. Good, and one more here. Arm coming all the way up and over. Lovely flexion. You're getting length and openness through this side waist. Restacking and float the arm down. Good. Give your shoulders a bit of a roll back. And we've got one last one standing up. We're going to work into our balance again. So just doing a one leg balance. Core muscles coming in. As we breathe out, we're going to float one knee up to hip height. Inhale to lower down. So you're going to try and keep your hips as level as possible rather than hitching them up and down. Good. Going on the other side now. Breathing out. Showing you from the side, keeping my spine and pelvis completely still rather than tucking under. Good. Okay, two more to each side here. And our final one. And bring your legs down. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to come down onto the mat. So coming down onto all fours, Lovely. Okay, so coming down onto all fours. Setting yourself up now with your knees directly beneath your hips and your wrists directly beneath your shoulders. We're going to do a really nice cat and hinge back. So it's really nice and flowing. You're going to get some movement through your spine as well as your hips. So lots of space between your fingers. Then we'll just do a few shoulder drops here to make sure that our shoulders are in the correct position. So you can just let your breastbone come down towards the floor and then press through your hands to come up, okay? So inhaling, breastbone coming down, keep your arms straight and press away. So you can feel the muscles through the very top of your spine working here. And we'll do 3 more here. And our final one. Breastbone coming down and pressing away. Super. Okay, so make sure that the centers of your elbows are facing each other. If you're hypermobile through your arms, it's quite tempting to get them pointing forward. So make sure they're facing each other. Maybe a little bend in them if it helps you here. We're going to go into that cat. So breathing in to prepare, breathing out, tuck your bottom underneath you. Really try and take your tailbone between your legs before you let that ripple flow up through your spine. Head coming down last of all. And then on your inhale, you're going to hinge back. You might feel a stretch through your spine here, which should feel really nice. The weight is going onto your legs, a little bit of weight on your hands. And then as you exhale, return your spine through to neutral and rock back through to center. Okay, so I'll show you again. Breathing in here, breathing out. Tuck into that lovely cat. Pressing the mat away from you, mid-spine going up towards the ceiling. Then as you inhale, rock back. And then exhale, stick your bottom out, breastbone goes forward so that your spine and pelvis are in neutral. And hinge back. So really nice to get that flowing movement here. Rocking into cat. Inhale, hinge back. Exhale to come through to neutral and hinge back to your start position. Should feel really nice, especially through your lumbar spine and pelvis, to get this gorgeous movement. As you hinge back, you're kind of rounding through this bit even more. And coming back through. Lovely, we've got one last one to go. Rolling all the way up, head coming down last of all. Hinging back. And coming back through. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of a tail wag. So this is going to get some gorgeous movement through your very lumbar part of your spine. So if you've been spending a lot of time sitting recently, it should feel really nice to open out that area and get the muscles working as well as challenge your core. Okay, so all we're going to do is from our neutral spine and pelvis, 4-point kneeling, we're just going to tuck our bottom round to the left, side through to center, and to the right, okay? It's like you're wagging your tail if you're a dog. We keep the top of our body and spine completely still. So lengthening out through the side of your waist as the other side of your waist gets smaller. So lovely lateral flexion going on as well. And you can imagine that you've got something balanced on the back of your pelvis. So rather than kind of tucking your pelvis, sticking it out or rotating, you're keeping it flat as you go from side to side. Toe muscles still working here because they're supporting you in this position. And our last one. And sit back over your heels to give your wrists a bit of a rest here. Have a few breaths rest before we go into our next exercise. We're going to work on some rotation through our spine. Okay, so we're going to move into some threading the needle now. Then go back into 4-point kneeling and find that neutral spine and pelvis. So if you need to, you can do a few little pelvic tilts. You're tucking your bottom underneath you and sticking it out. Before setting yourself back up into that 4-point kneeling position, we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to thread one hand through. Back of your hand remains on the floor, and you're going to bend that supporting arm. So your shoulder comes down towards the floor. Might feel like your bottom is sticking up in the air even more. Then you're going to press through that hand to come all the way back up. We go on the other side, so breathing in to prepare. And breathing out to slide your hand under, bending that supporting arm really strong through your upper body. Lovely twist through your spine, really essential for keeping it healthy. Then press through. So if it says essentially, you're doing a one-armed press up. Really nice to build bone density as well with this weight-bearing activity. You're getting that control. Your tummy muscles are coming in here as well to support you. I'm going to do a few more on each side. So in your own time, just keep sliding through, pressing back up. Good. And one more time on each side. Sliding through. Keep the back of your hand on the floor. And one last time, sliding through. Keep that arm long. Try and reach it away from you as much as possible. Press through to come back up. And once again, just sit back over your heels. Come into a rest. Give your wrists a bit of a rock from side to side. I'm going to add on a bit of a challenge. So this isn't one that I've done for a long while. So rather than adding in the arm extension, I'm going to see if we can add in a leg raise instead. So we go back into 4-point kneeling. Now make sure that you've got enough space. So something I see quite often is that people have their knees and their wrists a little bit too close together. You can see that automatically my back starts rounding. So just make sure that your knees are still directly underneath your hips. You've got a really lovely neutral spine and pelvis, lots of space between your fingers. This time, okay, working on our balance and our coordination. Breathing in to prepare. As you breathe out, we're going to slide that hand through. And as you slide and bend down, you're going to hinge up through that leg, okay? And then inhale to return back down. Okay, so make sure you're lifting the correct leg up. I'm going to slide my hand through to my right. Therefore, I'm going to lift my right leg up in the air. So you're balancing on opposite hand and opposite knee. Really requires lots of control and concentration. Inhale, press through to come back. Okay, let's keep going. So you're going to work from side to side. Going all the way through, sliding under, reaching through, hinging that leg up. And coming back through. Ooh. So your hip will rise up as well. And we can do one more on each side here. And when you've done, you can sit back into your rest position once again. Hands going forward, bottom going back. Rest your forehead down. And take a few nice deep breaths in. So you're trying to fill your rib cage with as much air as possible in this lateral position. Awesome. Okay, so back into 4-point kneeling. We're going to do a really nice Superman. So we'll start with tabletop just to build up, and then we'll challenge ourselves to Superman. So 4-point kneeling once again. Now remember, with our tabletop, we're going to breathe in as we slide opposite arm and leg away, really extending through that back leg and through that front arm. Now we can stick with this and breathe out to come back, keeping your core muscles completely switched on, so that your hips and your spine are square to the floor. And if you had a tray of drinks on your back, that they wouldn't fall off. Okay, so breathing out and in to return. Feeling these tummy muscles around here switching on to support you as you keep your hips and shoulders square to the floor. Good. One more time to each side here. Sliding away and return. Slide and return. Okay, so now we've got that movement in our body. Somehow I managed to walk forward through that one. We're going to go into tabletop 2. So this time we slide on the in-breath, and then remembering to keep your core muscles switched on and your spine from dropping down towards the floor. As you exhale, you're going to float the arm and leg up. So you're reaching forward with your fingers, reaching back with your toes, lots of length. Slide back down and come back through, remembering that you shouldn't be kicking your cup of tea. So let's go again. We're going to go on the opposite side this time. Inhale to slide back really smoothly. Exhale, float up to hip and shoulder level. Inhale to slide back down and return. Keep the back of your head and your neck really strong. Great. Sliding away, floating up, really strong, lots of length through your fingers and your toes. Good. And last one. Sliding away, floating up, coming back down, and sitting back over your heels to have a rest here. Great. Okay, so now your challenge is to try that Superman. So only do this if you're feeling really confident. You can stick with tabletop 2 if you prefer. For Superman, we're going to try and balance on the same arm, same leg. So as we inhale, we slide same arm, same leg away from us. And exhale, float up. Lower down with control and return. Let's go on the other side. Sliding away, floating up. Tummy muscles really working here. Bring it back down and return. And again, sliding away, floating up. Last one on each side. Remember to breathe. Keep the back of your neck really long once again. Sliding, float up. Whoa. Come back down and sit back into your rest position. Give your wrists a rock round from side to side. Super. Okay, so we're going to come over onto our backs now into our relaxation position. So lying on the floor with a little cushion beneath your head if you need some support. So you're going to lie on your back, head on the mat, and the weight going down through the back of your head, the back of your rib cage, and the back of your pelvis. Feet and knees hip distance apart, arms lengthened down by your sides, just tucking your shoulder blades underneath you and walking your fingers slightly further towards your toes so your shoulders aren't around your ears. We're going to do some nice little pelvic tilts here to find your neutral spine and pelvis. So as you breathe out, just rock back to imprint your lumbar spine. And then as you inhale, arch away. Rocking back to imprint. Inhale to arch away. Good. We'll do one last one here. And come back through to neutral. Okay, so our arms are flat on the floor, palms facing down. We're going to go straight into a double knee fold. But if you prefer, you can do this as a single knee fold, whatever suits you best. Breathing in, keep your jaw relaxed and your shoulders released. You're going to breathe out to float one knee up, hinging at the hip, and then bring the other knee up to join it. So you've got that lovely 90-degree angle of your knees, and your thighs are at 90 degrees to your torso. Then inhale, take leg one down and leg two. We'll go again, breathing out, bringing leg one up and leg two, floating them down one at a time. Good. Keeping your shoulders relaxed. And one more. Good. Okay, so now we're going to turn this into a toe tap. So our legs go one at a time. And then if you want even more of a challenge, raise your hands up in the air with your palms facing each other, fingertips shooting up towards the ceiling. You're going to breathe out to hinge at the hip, tap that leg down and return. Tap and return. Good. And going again, breathing out to tap and return. You should feel these muscles surrounding your hips and your very lower core working really hard here. Great for the strength of your pelvic floor. Great for the strength of your hips as well. Remember, try not to clench through your quads. Use your glute muscles for a little extra support. Okay, so placing your legs down one at a time. This time we're going to see if we can do exactly the same in a curl up. So get rid of your cushion. Place your hands behind your head now and clasp them there. Elbows going up towards the ceiling. So you've got like a basket which your head is resting in. I'm going to breathe in here, and as we breathe out, we're going to roll up into that curl up. And then we're going to see if we do that double knee fold. So remember, a single knee fold is fine if you prefer. I'm going to breathe out and in. Gaze is going between your knees. You should find that in this curl up, these muscles surrounding your core are working even harder. Okay, so now we're going to see if you do the same double knee fold. So remember, your head is really heavy in your hands. You shouldn't be feeling any tension through the back of your neck because your hands are supporting you here in that basket. So breathing out and out. In and in. And just like usual, you're trying to make sure that you're not rocking back into your pelvis. So if you find that you're imprinting your lumbar spine, you're either bringing your knee in too close or you're not using enough core support, okay? Remember, use the exercise which suits you best. So if you want to stick with single knee folds, that's fine. Or you can go straight into that double knee fold. And this is a wonderful building block exercise for further exercises such as our single leg stretch, our straight leg stretch, double leg stretch. Keep your toe muscles coming in rather than doming up. And we'll do 2 more rounds like this. And our final one. And let your head rest back down on the floor. Drop your elbows out to the side. Have a little bit of a rest here. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to try it in a single leg stretch. So you can either keep your head on the floor, supported by your pillow, or you can come up into that curl up. So we're going to set ourselves up with our lower body first. So find that neutral spine and pelvis to start with, and then float your knees in one at a time into that double knee fold. Bring your heels together and your knees slightly further apart. So you're in a turnout here through your hips. You're going to bring our hands up so that they're either side of our knees. And if you're coming to curl up, just roll up so your gaze is going between your knees. Try not to come too far. So your back of your shoulders is still on the mat. You just got a lovely flexion through your neck here. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to straighten one leg away as we guide the other leg in towards us using our hands. So we're really straightening through that long leg. Inhale to swap them over, and exhale to straighten the other leg as you draw that knee in. So really control, bring that knee in, straighten that leg away. For a harder exercise, take that leg closer to the floor. For an easier exercise, you can point it up towards the ceiling. Now, if your head and neck starts to struggle at any time, you can take your head back down onto the floor to give your neck muscles a bit of a rest. Just keep going through your legs. So breathing out to stretch that leg away and go again. Lovely. Okay, one last time on each side. And again, bring your knees in towards you, place your head down, turn your head from side to side to release any tension you're holding around your neck, shoulders and jaw. And just bring your knees in towards you and give yourself a rock round from side to side. Good. Awesome. Okay, so placing your feet back down on the floor, head goes back onto that pillow. We're going to go into a lovely little spine curl now to get some movement through our spine. So find that neutral spine and pelvis once more. Hands are going on by your side. Feet and knees hip distance apart with your toes really lengthened out because we're going to use our feet for supporting us here. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, let's rock back through our spine, imprinting our lumbar spine. Glute muscles coming on and rolling all the way up. Hips go nice and high, level with each other, and lengthen down. So you're trying to replace your spine back down onto the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Really paying attention when it gets to your lumbar spine. It's really hard to get that movement through there as you go down. Let's go again. Breathing out to roll all the way back, imprinting your spine, lifting up one bone at a time. Hips going high in the air and lengthening back down onto the mat. Really pay attention when it comes to your lumbar spine, trying to get those bones down one at a time. We're going to do two more like this. So in your own time, rolling all the way back, lifting up, try to get your hips really high at the top, level with each other, and lengthen back down. And one more time. And coming down. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to add on a little bit of a challenge by seeing if we can add it in a single knee fold. So this is going to really require strength through your legs and your glutes, as well as through your hips, because you're trying to keep your left hip and your right hip really straight. Okay, so back into our relaxation position, arms down by your sides. Breathing in here, breathing out. We're going to roll back just like before. Glute muscles turn on. You're lifting your spine up one bone at a time. Inhale at the top to prepare. And as you exhale, ground into the supporting leg as you float one knee up into a single knee fold and bring it down. Exhale, inhale, and exhale to roll all the way back down. So it's quite an unusual movement. So just take a few times to get used to it, and then you can work on refining the technique and the control. So let's try going again. We're breathing in to prepare and breathing out, rolling back, imprinting your lumbar spine, lifting up one bone at a time, hips nice and high, glute muscles coming on. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, fold one knee up into that single knee fold, lower down. Going on the other side, keeping your toes really relaxed on the mat. Lower down, try and keep your hips high throughout. And lower your spine back down to the floor one more time. And we'll go again. Rolling all the way up, lifting up. knee floating in, coming down, hips really nice and high, glute muscles working, tummy muscles working, lower that leg down, roll down onto the floor. We're going to try 2 more times like this. If you want even more of a challenge, float your arms up in the air, keep your palms facing each other, and you're really going to have to use your deep core strength to make sure that you don't tip from side to side here. Lengthening down one more time, and we've got one final attempt. Breathing out, lifting all the way up, hips nice and high, glute muscles switching on. Float that knee in, lower down. Float the other knee in, keep your hips as high as you can, lower down, lengthen back down onto the floor and float your arms down. Take your hands slightly wider, bring your knees and feet together. We're going to do a really nice hip roll to get some rotation through our spine and release any tension that you might have gathered during that leg exercise. So as you breathe out, we take our legs over to the side, opposite shoulder remaining down. And inhale to draw yourself back through to center. Going over to the other side, rotating over. Inhaling to come back through. Tummy muscles coming in and going over to the side. And if you want to get a bit more of a stretch to your body, you can add in a ribcage closure. So bring your hands down by your sides. As you breathe out, your hands go up in the air, knees go to the side, hands float back. Inhale to draw all the way back through to your start position and go the other way, breathing out. And inhale, lovely. Let's do one last time on each side here. Breathing out, hands going back, knees going over to one side. And our last one. And come back through to center. We're going to draw our knees in one at a time. And just give yourself a rock from side to side here. Place them down, roll onto your side, and bring yourself up to sitting. Sitting in whichever way suits you best. Hands go down by your sides. We're going to breathe in and out to raise our arms all the way up. Reaching up and over to one side. Back through to center. Over to the other side. Back through to center. Reaching your hands up in the air, looking up and back. Pressing the air away. And giving yourself a nice clap. Well done. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed the class and that you found it lovely for your shoulders and for just reinforcing some of the basic exercises. I'll be back on Monday and hope to see you then. And in the meantime, have a really great weekend and take care. Bye.